Today we're going to talk about a job that you can do in January or February in a woodland garden, which is of great benefit but creeps up on you unawares. And that is uplifting the lower branches on mature trees. And this is a Nothofagus that was planted in 1991. It's probably about 30 feet or so high. And as you can see around us here, it's starting to take all the light away from this rather nice red hamamelis for these small little group of rhododendron blue tit. And if we come round here, you can see some scented rhododendrons which now have got clear light above and can carry on growing. And here we've got another Nothofagus, which again has been nicely uplifted. Around it we've got a nice catalpa and an arbutus and a great many other trees which are starting to show signs of being short of light and crowded out. And by taking off the branches lower down the trunk, we're doing so at a time when the sap isn't rising, so you can see that we've got no bleeding from where the branches have been cut off close to the base of the trunk, and given time the plant will heal itself and bark will grow over those removed branches. And if we go on a little further, we can see more uplifting of other plants. This is a Kalopanax septemlobus, which was also planted in 1991 and is now a huge tree. And again, its lower branches were crowding out a nice group of azaleas on this side and another group of scented rhododendrons on the other side. Now that they've got more light, it may well be that when these rhododendrons have flowered, we'll give them a haircut as well to rejuvenate, but at least they've now got a much better chance than they had before. Here the problem was rather different, and I'm standing underneath a huge Quercus acuta with a very gnarled trunk, and its lower branches were starting to get in the way of people walking along this main path in the gardens. And also the weight on these big side branches was getting so great, there was a probability that the tree would split out. And by removing quite a bit of the weight and making it easier for people to walk underneath this superb and record tree, we've just done a bit of gentle, judicious pruning and hopefully improve the longevity of a very superb tree from China. So above me is our largest Schefflera taiwaniana and a very rare Mycelia. Both were getting squashed by the rhododendron beside them and by these two camellias in front of them. So we decided to take some pretty drastic action to trim back the rhododendron, which will reshoot, and give the Schefflera taiwaniana more room to breathe, and for the Mycelia to be able to get its central leader growing away. The camellias will obviously reshoot and regrow. We hope that the rhododendron will reshoot, so no long-term damage has been done. But what we have done is protected two important trees that were getting crowded out by the other things growing around them and beside them. Here the problem was different again. A huge clump of Mahonia, which was getting completely enclosed in by other things, overshadowed by Hoherias and overshadowed by the laurel and rhododendron on the far side. This Mahonia flowers in the autumn and is absolutely superb, clearly an original introduction from China. in a group of 3. But now we can actually get round and see it. Mahonias reshoot well, so trimming these side branches will have done no damage. But we've opened up an important record plant that can probably be seen, trimmed up the Mahonias, trimmed up the rhododendron behind. Not a huge job, quite a small bonfire, but the end result is something that hopefully will preserve an important plant for the next generation.